Hi everybody, hope you're well. So tomorrow will be the last day that we will have Howrse in the current format, and then it's going to change to this on the 1st of March. So I just thought I'd have a final look at the test server because I only have access to the test server until tomorrow. So this is my last chance to use it. Looking at stuff that we got in the Titans, I ended up with 29 posted in packs. It's a lot of posted in packs, but not considering the amount of Titans we opened. I didn't really get much else in there, to be fair. There's just really not much. I think we'll use the 5th element because we might as well, because we're on here. And what else can we do? I'm going to use the Horns of Plenty that we have left and see if we get anything decent within these. Probably not, knowing my luck. Pandora's Box. That was... Sort of saw that coming. Bell Boots. And finally... Yeah. Pretty much what it seems to be pretty much standard in Horns of Plenty these days. I'm just going to pick a random horse, put this on, see what we get. It looks like air, yes. If it would actually move. Yes, it is air. I think out of all the years that I played Howrse, I only managed to get metal about 5 years through playing, maybe. It was quite a long time it took me to get a metal out of all the 5ths I'd ever had. There isn't really that much more to do. I'm going to have a quick look in sales and see if there's any pass horses. I don't think there's going to be in sales, I would say. Let's say we'll go for ones that aren't passes and ones that aren't immortal. There's one pass horse. I will buy that. We might as well. Right, we'll send that to heaven and see what we can get from a Horn of Plenty. Right, send to heaven. There's our pass. Let's go to the black market and do that one more time. Can't use any more Titans, so I can only use the Horns of Plenty. So I've only got one pass. Water Youth. Not spectacular. I don't really know what I think of these right now, these changes. I suppose to a degree, maybe it's a little bit easier because now you've also got the image as well. So it's not as difficult to kind of, you know, if you're working across servers, maybe that's a little bit more intuitive and a bit more helpful, especially if your first, you know, language isn't the server that you're on. I think potentially that's a good change. But as for the look of it, I feel like it's more aimed at using smaller screens and having bigger buttons. It's a bit chunky, I think, on a computer screen for me personally. I think it's a bit too boxy and I don't like that. But it's not going to make me get really horrendously annoyed with it or anything. I don't think I'm going to have any major negativity towards the changes in that respect. It's probably easier to read, I guess, in some shapes and forms. I wonder if there's anything interesting we can spend. Let's see how quickly we could waste 8 million Aquis on things for the ECs. Store. And I suppose enhancements wouldn't we want? Actually, can't we just buy... Let's see what we can buy. We can buy boxes in here. Let's see how many of these we can buy. I'll have to buy them one at a time. That's a bit time consuming. No, I don't think we'll do that because otherwise we'll be here all day trying to spend all that Aquis. Competitions, workshops, meadows. Let's see. I think like if you wanted to buy a bunch of them, like at a large time, it would be nice to be able to actually specify how many you want, but I suppose this stops anybody from spamming and using them too quickly. I suppose it's fairer really if you think about it, because if everybody could go on and specify the number that they wanted, they could go too quickly and then people wouldn't get a chance. Say, I know there's like 663 available there, but if too many people can go in and buy a huge amount, then people who are only maybe looking one or two might miss out on getting them. But I think I'm not too worried about these changes coming in on Tuesday. We'll see how the community reacts as a whole, I guess, closer to the change, because I said that there will probably be more talks about it. But I don't feel any like real... I didn't think there's anything wrong with it to begin with, but I can sort of see some areas why I can sort of say that they've changed it. Although I do think this was a very good change. I do still think that this was a good change, making the game help much more obvious and just like, you know, if you've got a question, it's a question mark. It's real obvious there that, you know, that can help you. Whereas I think the logging out isn't maybe so much. And I don't really like the way they've changed the versions here so much. Not totally sure on that one in that respect, but and this has been a bit odd. I've actually found this a wee bit strange, because somewhere whenever I had it before, it was displaying it as like 10k instead of just explaining it as a number. And I understand maybe it gets like too much, but I felt like it could have been. It may not transfer across, you know, all languages possibly in that respect, or maybe not everybody would have understood it. I know that people do tend to use a lot of shorthands in Howrse, and you know that's natural to do that, but I didn't expect Howrse to do it because whenever I had it, but now it is displaying the full number, and I do prefer that. I don't know if that was a change that was made during, because I do remember seeing it as not a full number before, so I don't know if that has been something that they've taken on as feedback from us and sort of said, okay, we'll change that. Everything else is pretty much, you know, the same as I've said before, so that is it with the test server. If I get a chance to get on the test server again, you know, I will try and do more videos on it in future if we get that option. I know a couple of you were asking and you were saying, how did I get on the test server? And basically I got on the test server because Howrse had on the front page, so when I went in, on the front page there was a tab here that said, you know, you could go and try the new features on the test server if you signed up, and there was like so many spaces that it was only being offered to VIPs, and that's how I got on it. Now there is another way that you can be invited to a test server, but this was like a time limited offer to try with the VIPs. So you don't necessarily have to be a VIP to get to the test server. It's just when they do those test server VIP offers, then yeah, you kind of do. So that's it anyway, guys. I hope you had a lovely day, and bye bye.